Okay, folks, I really haven't talked about the government shutdown very much. I think I talked about it a little bit on my Hangouts, but I haven't done a standalone video for it. But a couple of days ago, I came across, actually, somebody sent me this. Somebody sent me, well, I got on Twitter. Somebody sent me this. This is from Zero Hedge. Indiana grocery store can't process food stamp payments due to government shutdown. As we warned last week, what could happen if the government shutdown continues into February? Well, as Daisy Luther reports from her Organic Prepper blog, it's starting early. As we discussed previously, we weren't expecting to see a loss of food stamp benefits until the end of January, but a grocery store in Indiana reported they are unable to process EBT payments. In Clay City, Indiana, the local IGA discovered the problem last week. Initially, they thought it was a technical glitch. Quote, our machines weren't taking any EBT cards and we didn't really know what was going on. We didn't know if it was a technical issue. And then we found out it was due to the government shutting down. Comes from Tristan Malone's. Although it's for a slightly different reason, the Red Lion store in York County, Pennsylvania has also had issues. New owners recently purchased a grocery store and sent in their application to accept government benefits before the shutdown occurred. Right now, we're officially frozen because the government is shut down and we can't process our application. Tom Lohr is the new owner of D&K. He said they tried to get pre-approved for the license before the sale went through. We tried to be proactive and start this in December, late November, early December, set up new entities with the businesses. It just has not worked out. Lohr purchased the business but doesn't own the company name, so the license belongs to the original owners. We're trying to make it a smooth transition where it would happen the first day we opened. They said if we didn't hear anything by January 4th to give them a call back. They went dead basically before Christmas, I think, said Lohr. 16% of our business comes from people who use food stamps. D&K wants to be able to serve those in need. They're just waiting for the government to reopen. More than 42 million Americans rely on food stamps. A lot of people are very smug when it comes to those who rely on EBT benefits for food, picturing people driving Cadillacs to pick up their government-funded lobster and then go home and watch daytime soaps. But if you consider the state of the economy, it's no surprise there are millions who can't make ends meet. Almost half of all Americans can barely afford food and rent every month. Prices are just getting higher and wages are not increasing to meet the demands. Really, the average EBT user isn't always who you'd expect. Considering 15 million children are living in homes below the poverty line, the kids will be the ones to suffer. It's pretty easy to be judgmental about those who accept food stamps if you have a good job and a full pantry. But remember that not everyone is in this situation by choice. Nobody is immune to hard times. I've been there myself. Imagine the unpleasant surprise. Imagine going to the store to make a purchase, fully believing that you have the money in your account, but when the cashier tries to ring through your purchase, it's denied. You ask her to swipe again because you know there's money, but again, it's declined. No funds available, you're told. The people who are going to buy groceries with EBT cards that are supposed to be working right now must be feeling desperate, and their frustration will cross into anger very quickly. A cashier from Clay City, Indiana, confirmed this. They're really upset about it, which is understandable. I mean, it's like, really discouraging. They can't use it. And I mean, we've had some people get mad about it, but it's like out of our control. There's nothing we can do about it, Malone said. Now imagine what the situation would be like if suddenly at the end of January, 42 million people across the country discover they won't be able to feed their families. It could be chaos very quickly, saying we're just 9 meals away from anarchy. Every single time the government shuts down, an example is made of ordinary Americans. With the Obama shutdown in 2013, all sorts of people suffered, from Native Americans to migrants to victims of domestic violence. In the current shutdown, it's the poor people to those working government jobs, paycheck to paycheck, who will pay the price. Why do they do this? Why do they make those who are suffering suffer more? because the members of Congress and the government wants to impress upon us how very essential they are to our well-being. They want to provide us with dramatic evidence that we can't get by without them. No one actually from the government is hurt by the shutdown. While the important people aren't noticing any hardship from the government shutdown, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi took a trip to Hawaii, where she promises it wasn't a vacation, and members of Congress get paid, but their staffers do not. Kudos to this handful who have chosen to donate or forfeit their salaries during the shutdown. It would be difficult for my opinion of these people to be much lower, but I'm sure they'll manage to undercut my expectations any further. The IRS will still take your money, track you down, but they won't issue any refunds. The system as it stands is anything but by the people and for the people. The system is for the people who are benefiting from it. It's for the people who are playing Americans like disposable chess pieces on a board. It's for the people who literally benefit from the suffering of those less fortunate, but it's not for the rest of us. There are no signs of the shutdown ending anytime soon, although that can change on a dime. If it runs through the end of the month, be prepared to see some serious fallout when millions of people cannot purchase food for their families anymore. But don't worry, your Congress members will be just fine, regardless of how long this charade continues. But if you personally are relying on SNAP benefits for your food, I advise you to stock up now on low-cost items like beans, rice, oatmeal, peanut butter, pasta, flour, and canned fruits and vegetables. If you have money left over on your card for the month, spend it now on things that won't spoil. If you are in a position to donate food to banks, help others, the need could be at an all-time high. A package of pasta and a can of sauce could at least provide a family with a warm dinner. No matter what your situation is, be prepared for the potential of unrest, because hungry people with hungry children will do desperate things. And that is from Zero Hedge on Monday, January 7th. Personally, I don't think it will get this far because this is just the beginning of January, and I do believe they'll have the deal done well before the end of January, before the SNAP card money runs out. I know there's probably going to be glitches here and there, but I don't believe smart people are stupid or crazy. So they might be making a political point to each other, because that's what I think it really always is. I think the wall is symbolic. If he really felt that way about the wall, he should have really impressed it that, when they signed the military budget, they signed the 2019 budget. Now, I thought it was appropriated, but evidently there's something missing. So I really don't know really what this fight is about. I don't think it's over $5 billion, because the potential unrest and the potential loss of property and stuff like that would cost more than $5 billion. If 42 million people can't feed their families and all of a sudden they cut loose. Just calling out the National Guard all over the country is more expensive than that. So that's why I don't believe it'll go that far. I do believe it'll be worked out, I would say, within a week or so. And even then, it'll be the longest shutdown. But this president, this Congress, you never know. We live in interesting times, as the Chinese say. They've tried glitches before, and it hasn't gone too well. It didn't come out into all-out riots, but you had a lot of upset people that were getting ready to do some kind of harm. But the glitch only lasts a couple hours, and the spot glitches that you have, people are mad, but they're not completely upset. I guess because they can go other places and get food. But a total shutdown of the system, about 40 million people that rely on it, it wouldn't take much to get them started. It wouldn't take much to get them started. And once they got started, it would spread, because there's other things that are probably stewing in the background, and all it needs is a spark. I don't think Congress and Trump are ready for something like what's going on in France with the yellow vest. And if you let February roll around and people can't buy food, and it goes on like a week, you could see a yellow vest uprising in the United States. But like I said, I don't think the Congress is that stupid. I think it's an irritant, but I don't think it's an issue. That's just my personal take on this. But anyway, that's all I got for this one. This is BGS out, and I will see you guys on the next one.